You might currently be living your life in the wrong way. And the most frightening part? You might not even be aware of it. See, most people believe that reality is what they see. The car they drive, the balance in their bank account, the routine they despise. But what they don't know, what was never taught to you in school, is that all of this is merely the reflection of a frequency, a vibration. I will show you that the life you truly desire, whether it is wealth, freedom, love, or health, already exists. It is on another frequency. And the secret to reaching it? Becoming one with it. Have you ever stopped to wonder why some people seem to attract opportunities like a magnet, while others live a constant, never-ending struggle? Maybe you yourself feel like you are always running after life as if it is 2 steps ahead and you never manage to catch up. Now, what if I told you that this is not your fault, but rather the frequency at which you are operating? Everything, absolutely everything, vibrates. Your body vibrates. Your thoughts vibrate. Your emotions, your decisions, your bank account, everything is in constant energetic motion. And each of these things occupies a specific place in the frequency spectrum. This is not cheap philosophy. This is science. This is quantum physics. Just as you cannot hear a radio station tuned to the wrong frequency, you cannot attract wealth, love, or health while vibrating with fear, scarcity, or doubt. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you are. And you, at this moment, are the sum of your predominant frequency. People often say, I want to have more money. I want a better life. I want to get out of this hole. But the next moment, they are thinking about overdue bills, fearing unemployment, surrounded by bad news, and carrying inside them a chronic feeling of insufficiency. They say they want to prosper, but they vibrate as if the world will end tomorrow. And the law of attraction is relentless. It does not respond to what you say you want, but to what you truly feel and vibrate. I know this may sound harsh, perhaps even upsetting, but see, when I understood this, my life began to change. At the time, I was drowning in debt. I owed more than I earned. I saw no way out, and worst of all, I didn't even think about getting out of it. My mind was programmed to survive. That's all. It was not programmed to grow, expand, or attract money. I was addicted to lack, addicted to scarcity. It was then that a mentor told me, Bob, you don't need more money, you need a new frequency. And that stopped me in my tracks, because it was true. I had never considered that before. I had never thought of myself as a transmitter of energy. But when I began to understand that my thoughts created the dominant vibration of my life, everything changed. You may now be wondering, okay, but how do I change my frequency? Well, you change your frequency with intention, with a mental image, and with deep emotion. It is not enough to just repeat ready-made phrases. You need to feel as if what you desire is already real. That is what aligns your vibration with the reality you want to live. And when that happens, the world responds. You know that moment when you think of a person and they call you? Or when you intensely desire something and out of nowhere an incredible coincidence appears that brings you closer to it? That is not chance. That is resonance. That is frequency. See, science has already shown that our heart emits an electromagnetic field that can be measured several meters away from our body. Neuroscience has proven that our thoughts create electrical patterns that affect our cells and even our DNA. Research published in the Journal of Positive Psychology shows that people who intentionally cultivate positive emotional states, such as gratitude and visualization, have higher levels of well-being, performance, and even financial success. This is real. This is measurable. This works. And if you still think this is exaggeration, let me give you a simple example. Your cell phone. It only works if it is on the right frequency. You may have the number, the device, the signal, but if it is not tuned, the call does not go through. It is the same with your life. Everything you want is already available, but on a different frequency. And do you know what most people's problem is? They try to attract wealth while living immersed in fear. They try to manifest love while vibrating rejection. They try to find purpose while every day they reinforce with their habits that they are lost. The truth is, there is no result without resonance. You do not attract what you want. You attract what you have become. Want to see a simple but powerful exercise? Stop now and imagine in all detail the life you want. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and see yourself living it. Where are you living? How much money are you earning? Suppose someone imagines earning $10,000 per month. That is approximately 26,500 British pounds monthly. Who surrounds you? How is your health, your body, your energy? Now feel as if it is already real. That feeling is the code of the frequency. Repeat this daily, consistently for 7 days. You will notice small things begin to change. People appear, opportunities arise, but more than that, you change. Because when you vibrate differently, you think differently. When you think differently, you decide differently. And when you decide differently, your life changes. You can continue living on autopilot, trying to survive, or you can start right now to align yourself with the frequency of the life you were born to live. The choice is yours, but the power has always been with you. You know, for many years of my life, I saw people around me achieving great results, while I could barely pay my bills. That confused me. I used to wonder, do these people possess something that I lack? They didn't appear to be smarter, more hardworking, or more dedicated than I was, yet there was a fundamental difference. They acted with confidence, without knowing where that certainty came from. Later on, I discovered that this is what we call unconscious competence. Most successful individuals cannot explain how they do what they do. They simply do it. They have habits that work, thoughts aligned with prosperity, and a mindset of faith when facing challenges. But all of this happens without conscious awareness. The problem is that because they don't understand how to explain their own success, they cannot teach it to anyone, not even their own children. And this is where generations get lost. Have you seen this happen? Children of brilliant entrepreneurs, heirs to fortunes, or people raised in favorable environments, yet who fail in life. This happens because success that is not consciously understood cannot be passed on. And the opposite is also true. People who have failed for many years, like I did, can completely transform if they consciously learn how success works. You see, I was not born with this knowledge. On the contrary, I was a living example of unconscious incompetence. I did everything wrong, and I didn't even realize it. I lived with debts, earned very little, felt incapable, lost, and desperate. I was in that group where most people are, working hard, earning little, and not knowing how to get out of it. Until one man sat down in front of me in the year 1961 and asked me a simple question. "Bob, why don't you change your results?" At that moment, it almost sounded like an insult. Change my results? I thought results were things that happened to me, not things I created. That's when he explained something I had never heard in my entire life. You have paradigms that control your mind, and consequently, they control your life. He showed me that everything I was living was the exact reflection of what was programmed in my subconscious. I wasn't earning little due to a lack of opportunities. I was earning little because my mind was programmed to attract scarcity. He challenged me to write my goal on a card, a simple card. I wrote, "I want to earn $25,000. At that time, $25,000 was equivalent to about 22 million US dollars today. 22 million US dollars exactly. It was something completely outside my reality, but I did it. And I carried that card with me. I read it every day. And without realizing it, my focus began to shift. For the first time in my life, I started thinking about earning money, not escaping debt. This difference may seem subtle, but it is everything. Because when you think about debt, you are vibrating scarcity. And when you think about earning money, you begin to tune into solutions. This is how I overheard, almost by chance, someone say, "There is money in cleaning floors." Most people would have ignored that phrase. But at that moment, because I was thinking differently, it sounded like an opportunity. And I grabbed it. I began cleaning floors, one by one, small contracts, and in a short time, I had a company operating in several countries, without a college degree, without experience, without sponsors, just one goal in my pocket and a new vibration in my mind. Many people ask me, "Bob, what was the secret?" And I answer, I started thinking consciously. I became a consciously competent person. I knew what I was doing, and because of that, I was able to teach. Today, thousands of people around the world follow these same teachings because they work, because they are simple, because they are repeatable. But see, most people still live as I once did, reacting to life, thinking their results are the product of chance, government, luck, crisis, or childhood. And until they realize that everything begins inside the mind, nothing changes. It does not matter if you change jobs, cities, or relationships. If your mind remains the same, the results will be the same again. Do you know someone who keeps repeating patterns, always getting involved with people who hurt them, always earning less than they deserve, always ending the month in the red? This is a clear sign of a paradigm in action. And you know what struck me most when I started studying this? It was realizing that most people have negative paradigms about money. They believe money is dirty, that money corrupts, that money is scarce. And no matter how much they say they want to prosper, their beliefs, their words, their feelings all emit a signal of rejection toward money. And the universe, faithful to what you vibrate, simply responds, "Very well, here is another month of scarcity." That is why changing the mind is so important. And more than that, it is urgent. If you want freedom, if you want fulfillment, if you want peace, you need to learn to think like a prosperous person. Not just doing what prosperous people do, but thinking as they think. And when you do that consciously, when you understand why you do what you do, you become free. Free from repetition, free from fear, free from doubt. You can teach your children, you can inspire others, you can grow, contribute, expand. Consciousness is the beginning of everything. And if you have come this far listening to me, it is because your consciousness is already expanding. Do not ignore this. Do not treat it as just another video, because what you will do with this new consciousness will define the course of your life. Have you ever stopped to think that your body is not just flesh and bone, that you, in fact, are a walking explosion of energy in constant motion. Look closely. This is not a metaphor. It is science. Your physical body is made up of trillions of atoms. Each and every one of these atoms is vibrating at an extremely rapid pace. They are not stationary. They are not solid. They are composed of energy, pure, living, intelligent energy. Scientists claim that if it were possible to concentrate all the electronic energy contained within the atoms of the human body, you would be able to supply enough electrical energy to power an entire country for 1 week. And that is you. That is who you truly are, a living generator of energy. And this energy vibrates, it shines, it sings. Now, think with me. How can someone with such power walk around with their head down, feeling small, weak, without options? How can a person like that be satisfied with so little in life? The truth is that most people do not know who they really are. They look at themselves in the mirror and see only a physical reflection, but they do not perceive what lies behind that reflection. They do not realize that what truly matters is the vibration they are emitting. When I discovered this for the first time, I admit I found it absurd. I thought, how am I energy? How do I shine? But then I saw with my own eyes a video from an infrared camera showing a human body as a glowing and pulsating mass of energy. There was no skin, no clothing, no identity, only an energetic field in action. And that is when I began to understand the true meaning of presence. Because your vibration enters a room before you do. It precedes your words. It influences your outcomes. Have you ever felt that someone entered a room and instantly you felt good or bad? It is not magic. It is frequency. It is an energy field. And what defines that vibration? Your thoughts, your emotions, your deepest beliefs. You can try to smile on the outside, wear elegant clothes, post motivational phrases on social media, but if inside you are vibrating scarcity, insecurity, fear, that is what the world will feel from you, and that is what the world will give back. Everything you desire also vibrates. The car of your dreams has a frequency. The house you want, complete health, the ideal relationship, financial freedom, all exist at a specific frequency. And you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. This means that no matter how much you wish for a better life, if you vibrate at the frequency of fear, doubt, self-sabotage, you will remain trapped in the same cycle. And that is why the most important work you can do is not outside, it is inside. It is raising your vibration. And this does not mean superficially thinking positive. It means creating a state of coherence between what you think, feel, and believe. I learned that thoughts generate feelings. Feelings generate vibration. And vibration attracts circumstances. It's a chain, and you are in control of that chain, even if you have never realized it. Many times people ask me, Bob, why is it so difficult to maintain a high vibration? And I answer, because you are surrounded by negative influences. Because since childhood, you have been programmed to doubt, to hold yourself back, to expect the worst. You turn on the television, and what do you see? Tragedy. You open social media, and what do you consume? Comparison. You talk with others, and what do you hear? Complaints. You are constantly being pulled down. And the only way to stay above this is by creating your own field, protecting your energy as if you are protecting your own life, because that is exactly what is at stake, the life you will or will not live. I remember once, many years ago, when I was about to close a huge contract. It was one of the greatest opportunities of my life up to that moment. But inside, I was insecure. I did not believe I deserved it. I feared I was not ready. I remember walking into that meeting room. and everything went wrong. The words came out disconnected, the negotiations stalled, the atmosphere became heavy. I left there frustrated, angry, blaming myself. But then I realized it was not the contract that rejected me. I rejected it first, vibrationally. My energy said, "I am not good enough." And the universe responded, "Then you are not." This lesson was hard, but it awakened me to something profound. Everything starts within me. Everything starts with my vibration. And from that point on, I never entered any situation without first aligning myself with the result I wanted. Before a meeting, I visualized everything flowing smoothly. Before a lecture, I felt the impact it would cause. Before sleeping, I gave thanks for things that had not yet happened, but were already real inside me. This is not superstition. This is vibrational coherence. And when you enter this state, the world molds itself to your inner image. You are not weak. You are not small. You are light. You are sound. You are movement. You are an intelligent energy field capable of creating realities. You are literally a living antenna. And the question remains, which station are you tuned to today? Because the life you want is already on the air, but you will only hear it when you are on the same frequency. Have you ever felt like a background actor in your own movie? As if life is passing by and you are just watching without starring in anything? That is exactly what happens to most people. They do not write their own script. They live stories dictated by their parents, by school, by society. They get up every day, follow a routine they hate, do things they do not love, and still expect that somehow life will change. But life does not change by itself. It changes when you change the director of your movie. And what stops so many people from doing that? The name of it is paradigm. A paradigm is a collection of beliefs, habits, memories, and emotional patterns deeply rooted in your subconscious mind. These elements shape how you think, feel, and act, even when you believe you are in control. In truth, most of your decisions are not genuine choices. They are automatic repetitions of an old pattern. It is like a program running quietly in the background, on autopilot mode. Have you ever noticed how easy it is to promise yourself on a Sunday night that you will change your life and then completely forget about it by Monday morning? Have you decided to start saving money, eat better, wake up earlier, and 1 week later found yourself doing exactly the same things you did before? This doesn't happen because you are weak. It happens because your paradigm is strong. And it won't disappear just because you want it to. It will only leave when you replace it. Now, see, the problem isn't that we have paradigms. The problem is that we don't realize they exist. Because when you are unaware of your enemy, you become its prisoner. You live a half-lived life, believing you have no luck, no talent, no time, no money. But the truth is that what you lack is awareness. It took me a very long time to understand this. For years, I thought my problem was a lack of money. I owed more than I earned, and I believed that if I could pay off those debts, everything would be solved. But do you know what happened? Even after earning a lot of money, approximately 135,000 British pounds, I continued to feel like the same broke person I was before. Because the problem was never money. The problem was how I saw myself. It was the paradigm of scarcity, the fixed idea that I was limited. And as long as that program kept running, I could earn £1 million and still feel poor. You may change your external conditions, but if you do not change the paradigm, you will find a way to recreate the same problems. It is like winning the lottery and losing it all months later, like many stories out there. Because money changes, but the mind stays the same. And what is inside always wins over what is outside. The paradigm is formed during childhood. Even before we learn to speak, We absorb everything we hear. Money doesn't grow on trees. You have to work hard to deserve something. The rich don't go to heaven. These phrases are recorded as absolute truths. And even when we grow up, even when we say we want to change, it is this invisible system that continues to control the game. Now, the good news, paradigms can be changed. And I don't say this based on theory. I lived it. I am living proof that it is possible to come out of the depths and build a new reality, completely different, starting from a new mindset. But don't be mistaken. Changing a paradigm does not happen in a snap. It is like rewriting software. You need to repeat, practice, visualize, and feel. You must have persistence, even when the results have not yet appeared, because the old paradigm will resist. It will try to pull you back. It will make you doubt yourself. But if you continue, if you hold on to the vision of the life you want to live, if you refuse to accept less than what you know you deserve, you break the cycle. And when you break the cycle, you free not only yourself, but also everyone around you. Your children, your friends, your colleagues, all benefit from your leap in consciousness. Because when someone changes, the field around them changes as well. You are not trapped, you are merely programmed. But any programming can be rewritten. The question is, are you willing to step out of the role of an extra and take on the leading role in your own story? Are you willing to be the director of your own life, even if that means letting go of old habits, distancing yourself from certain people, challenging what you have always believed to be true? Because that decision no one else can make for you. But if you make it, if you decide you no longer want to live on autopilot, then the next chapter of your story has not yet been written, and it can be much greater than you ever imagined. You are the cause of your results, never their victim. And the life you so deeply desire is already vibrating at a real, accessible frequency, just waiting for you to align with it. Everything begins within. Everything begins with consciousness. Because once you change inside, the world outside has no choice but to transform as well. Now, if you felt that this touched you in some way, then you are ready to go deeper. In the next video, which is already appearing here on the screen, you will climb another step on this ladder of wisdom. One more step to become 1% better than you are now. And believe me, that 1% can make all the difference between continuing to live an ordinary life or creating an extraordinary one. Thank you very much for being here with me until now. I will be waiting for you there.